It is not my responsibility to tell you that your Tegu goes through cremation.
Mm-hmm. All right, whatever, guys. We'll let her slide this one time. But yeah, guys, don't forget that cremation's a thing. You might not need to feed your reptile, your Tegu, for 7 months out of the year if they go the full length like my guy did the first year he went down. Also, lights, some people keep them on, some people keep them off, but that's another area you can save on. So yeah, there's some corners to be cut if cremation happens. The only other thing I factored in is Safe. I put that at about $35 every 3 months. I think it's a 1 gallon one, maybe 2 gallons. I'll put it up on the screen which one it is, and that's about $140 per year. So with all that puts me at a yearly total of $1,137.32. That's more surprising to me than the initial cost, as odd as that is. Well, we covered what I spent, but let's see what you guys could sort of knock off of the total I came up with. One thing you can knock off, like I said previously, is the enclosure. Now, while grow tents aren't really my enclosure of choice, not that they're bad, I just don't find them too appealing, they are prominently used with Tegus. You could probably find a grow tent of adequate size for an adult Tegu for about $200, I would say. Additionally, I don't think everybody's gonna go ahead and get the nice hide basking spot that I got. You could probably get a hide basking spot combination or different pieces, whatever you come up with, for about $200. Lastly, let's say you already have cultures of isopods, and let's knock off that $100. With those totaled up and subtracted, we come to a total of $965, which is significantly less than what I spent. There are other things on here that I guess you could debate, not using like rocks in the enclosure, but I didn't really take them off because number one, it's pretty minimal compared to the overall price, and number two, if you don't have rocks, there's probably something else you're going to include in there that's going to substitute for rocks and add enrichment to the enclosure. So things like that I really didn't debate taking off. But yeah, so $965, I think that is a good low end of what you can expect. Maybe a middle ground there would be $1,000 to $1,500. For the yearly cost, there's really not too much I would take off. The only thing I could really suggest possibly not using is the Safe, which would take off $140 a year and put you at $997.32. Do note though that if you're just using Safe on your Tegu, you probably are going to last longer than 3 months. I'm just kind of setting more generous boundaries or more hard boundaries just in case. I'd rather go over than under. But for the yearly cost of a Tegu, I would expect around $1,000. I think that is pretty accurate and should be expected. You might not spend all that. Like I said, the vet put aside money, the $300. You might not spend nearly close to that, but it's definitely something you should have ready. Well, I think that wraps up everything, guys. Let me know if you think I missed anything on here. I tried to really make sure I got everything I use for FRAP and had to buy and purchase, whatever. But if I missed anything, let me know. Additionally, comment down below if you'd like to see this style video, how much does it cost video for my other reptiles like my Ackies. Definitely let me know. I'd be very interested in doing so for that because I'm just going to see how much money I spent and hate myself. Like I said though, that's it guys, but stay tuned for a couple quick announcements. I want to welcome new patrons Brian B and Mahans, let me know if I'm pronouncing that right, Bioactive Reptiles. Thanks for joining the Patreon, I really appreciate it. Also shout out to Smooth Cat, Herb M, David T, and Angela L. Like always, thanks so much guys for being patrons. You guys too could be patrons for as little as $1 a month. Check the top right for more information. Support the channel in a different way. Today, I am wearing my Tongue Out Tuesday merch with lovely Frappuccino on it. I have 4 different designs: Bearded Dragon, Tegu like you just saw, Ackie Monitor, and of course, okay, so now let's talk yearly what I spend. Number one, I put in $300 for vet visits. I know that's not probably gonna be typical. At most, you probably should have 1 vet visit and that'll probably be $100. But I like to put a high end on vet visits because you never know what's gonna happen. You gotta kind of have some put away extra money in case there's a problem. So $300 for vet visits. Then how I did food, I did this pretty interestingly. So as you guys maybe know, I got a bunch of Repti links for about $48, including shipping, and it's about 4 months worth. It might even be a little bit more, but I'm putting it at 4 months worth. I got it in mid-May and it's going into August, and I still have quite a decent amount left. But what I did is I took that 130 for 48 and I divided it by 4 months, then by 4 weeks, because there's 4 weeks in a month, and I got $8.41 weekly. And I think even if you're doing your own meal mix or doing whole prairie, whatever you're doing, I think $8.41 is a pretty good, accurate number for what you should spend weekly on a Tegu. And I want to note this is probably specifically pertaining to an adult Tegu. There might be a little bit more of a price than a baby Tegu. Now I had to factor in what I spend on bulbs and halogen floodlights. They go out pretty quickly, at least for me. So what I did, and this is probably not true, I probably lose one bulb maybe every 2 or 3 weeks, but I assumed I lost one bulb a week, and that would put me at, and I usually get packs of 6s for these, and that's about $30, $29.98. So $29.98 divided by 6 would be about $5 per week. So we're assuming $5 per week in buying bulbs. What it costs to get a Tegu, the initial setup, the yearly setup, I'm actually really surprised on how much I've spent on Frappuccino. That's where I spent a lot of money. Oh boy, Olivia's gonna kill me. Hey guys, how's it going? So I've been thinking about video ideas. I actually didn't think of this one. I got this from Drip in the Discord, by the way. If you want to join the Discord, we're almost at 100 members. The link to the invite or whatever, I don't know what I'm saying. The invite link's in the description. But anyway, Drip on Discord, who I believe is also Misha on YouTube, gave me this idea, and I thought it was a really good one. We're gonna be talking about what it costs to get a Tegu, the initial setup, also the yearly setup, what it costs to maintain the Tegu year to year. So I thought this would be really cool. I wrote down a bunch of different numbers based off of what I spent, and then we'll kind of talk about how you can maybe cut some of those costs if you want, and kind of what the necessities are. So we'll just get into all that. And surprising numbers, guys. I am actually really surprised on how much I've spent on Frappuccino. So let's get to it, and we'll start off with what I've spent. If I look at this paper right here, but these are the initial, I'm gonna push these up, this hurts. This is the initial cost of setting up Frappuccinos, everything. Now I didn't pay this all at once. There was probably a good 8 months maybe from start to finish on all these initial things, because I started them out on 40 gallon, stuff like that. So it wasn't all like one hefty sum payment, but definitely all that goes into setting up a Tegu properly. So let's get into it. For one, the cost of Frap. Now, Frap costs $250. He was from Laura Roberts in Florida, which is probably on the lower end of a Tegu cost. He's a Chicoan black and white, nothing fancy, so I'm gonna keep that at $250, but depending on what type of Tegu you want to get, that could go up significantly. Now is enclosure. That's where I spent a lot of money. AP closure with all its nooks and whatever it's called, the nooks, not the nooks. With all its bells and whistles, that's what I meant. The cage AP T100 bells and whistles came to $1,184, including freight shipping. So that was quite expensive, and that's one area where I believe costs can be cut if you don't want to get an enclosure like that, since I do think that's a more fancy enclosure if you want to use the term fancy. But anyway, let's keep going. I got a custom hide basking spot from David over at Country Scales and Tails. That will be in the description, a link to him if you're interested. That was $575, including shipping. UVB, the two 46-inch 14% Arcadia bulbs, that's $65.38. Fixtures for those bowls are $73.98. Rocks, the 3 rocks I put in there, including the slates that I used to put on the basking spot to help heat it up, that's about $25. Soil, I got about 20 bags of Scott's Organic, that was $50. Sand, I got about 10 bags of that, that's $42. The sphagnum moss I kind of put in there, that was about 10, I think. And the water bowl, the cat litter box that I got and used as a water bowl, that was about $6. Additionally, about $100 in isopods to really get that going. What else is there? A carrier for vet visits, that's about $43. And I believe that was everything. I also put in the price with a 40-gallon breeder, which is what I put Frap in for a little bit of his life in the beginning when he was a baby. So that total comes to $2,474.36. Oh boy, Olivia's gonna kill me. If you think Olivia's gonna kick my booty and make me sleep outside tonight, make sure to subscribe in the lower right-hand corner. Hit that bell as well for the latest updates. I could really use it. It's gonna be a rough night, guys. Check the Teespring link in the description for more information. Okay, guys, so that wraps it up. Like I said, make sure to let me know if you want to see this video for a different reptile. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe,